Now, the most well-known objection might be the multiverse. Essentially, it says, sure, our universe looks finely tuned, but what if there are billions or even infinite universes? Most of them might be duds, but in one of them, namely ours, the constants just happen to be right for life. It's like saying if you buy enough lottery tickets, you're bound to win eventually, but there's a lot of problems here.
I don't see a lot of problems. I mean, I see a lot of problems in how he's formed it, but, I don't see any problems in the actual scientific hypothesis. Because what the actual scientific hypotheses surrounding the multiverse theory say is that there's nothing that directly states that other universes can exist. So there's no way that we can rule that out, for one. Because we can't rule that out, that means we can't say that other universes don't exist. We do have some indirect evidence, like one controversial piece of evidence is like the cold spot in the cosmic microwave background radiation that we see. That's a bit controversial, so I wouldn't put a lot of weight on that one. But the fact is that if the universe was inflated naturally, then that means that other universes could also inflate naturally. Until you can prove that other universes wouldn't be able to inflate and that only our universe can inflate, you just simply don't have an argument here against the multiverse theory. It's still a viable theory. It's still something to consider. And it also means that we cannot just blindly say that your God is the reason why this universe exists.
For starters, there's just no evidence at all for the multiverse. It's pure speculation at this point.
Oh, but your God is not pure speculation? First of all, we don't say that there's definitely a multiverse out there. I think that there are probably some people that are like, I'm totally convinced of it. But we don't have like direct evidence of a multiverse existing. True, but more importantly, we don't have anything that rules it out. And so we cannot therefore rule it out. But that is what Eric requires you to do in order to accept his bullshit argument. In order to accept his argument, what you have to do is rule out other universes existing and solely focus on life in this universe and how this universe is constructed. But we don't actually know if this universe is the only way in which a universe can form, but also we don't know that this is the only way that life can exist in a universe. There's just no way to know any of those things. And so until we can know whether or not those things are possible, we can't rule them out. That's the entire point, and that would be the scientific position on this. So he is misrepresenting the science here, producing a straw man argument in order to get an easy dunk in on the atheists.
You can't observe other universes, measure them, or even know if they exist. Second, it multiplies the problem instead of solving it. The multiverse theory needs something to produce all these universes, like a universe generator.
Right, and I would say that that would be, quantum theory or quantum physics or whatever. I think that quantum scalar fields can definitely be around, outside of our universe in order to be this universe generating machine. If this machine is natural and works naturally without the need for any kind of like operator behind it, then it would definitely be more than capable of producing universes. So there's no problem in the methodological naturalist explanation of the beginning of the universe or universes in general in this particular aspect. The only difference that he is trying to make is that while we say, oh, this machine is automated, it just operates because of the laws of physics and everything like that, he has to stick in a magical wizard behind the machine to push the button to generate the universes. That's simply it. That's the only difference. I don't need a magical wizard, Eric. The machine just operates because that's how the machine operates, and that's how we understand the laws of nature to operate without the need for a magical wizard. And what I'm trying to point out here is that this machine would be whatever's logically necessary that needs to exist in reality. Whatever those components are, which I would think that on a quantum level, like the quantum scalar fields would be part of that necessary part of reality. So essentially, I'm getting down to like axioms that are like quantum scalar fields exist, whereas he's like, Merlin exists outside the universe and he uses all of his power to push a fucking button. That's essentially what he's doing here.
But that generator would also have to be fine-tuned to create life-permitting universes, so all you've done at this point is just kick the can down the road.
I feel like that was a little bit racist. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I'm just saying that he kicked a can of Chinese corn down the road. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I'm apparently too old for this shit. I thought that Eric was too old for this shit too, but apparently not. He is going to continue to be cringy as fuck, maybe also racist. I don't know.
One really lame response to the design argument is to point out that the vast majority of the universe is totally hostile to life, so this place just really isn't so fine-tuned after all.
I would agree that this wouldn't be a good argument to use against Eric in this particular argument. But I would say that if Eric is going to make the argument that God sees life as being good, and so God's motivation behind creating this universe to be life permitting is that God considers life to be good, or some kind of argument in that kind of fashion. I'm not saying that he's going to make this argument, that he's ever made this argument. I'm just saying that in this particular case, that would be the argument that he would have to make in order for the pointing out that life, is this universe is hostile to life, would make sense. So I would only bring up this objection if he's saying that, oh, life is good and therefore God made a universe to permit life because God loves life or wants humans to exist or created this universe specifically for us. In some kind of fashion like that, that's what the argument would need to be.
But this genius take misses the point. We're not asking why Earth has water and air. We're asking why this entire universe has the precise fundamental constants that it does. Let's not forget the vast size of the universe isn't some pointless cosmic flex. Universes that are smaller and denser would collapse upon themselves. So no, the fact that you just can't hit the gritty on the rings of Saturn doesn't exactly crush the fine-tuning argument.
I don't know what this means. Like, I know what the gritty is. I know what gritty is in general. I don't know what it means to hit the gritty on the rings of Saturn. I need help understanding this cringy bullshit. If you can, in the comment section, can you explain what hitting the gritty on the rings of Saturn means? Is this like some kind of weird sexual thing? Like, is hitting the gritty on the rings of Saturn like some kind of like Dirty Sanchez kind of thing? I'm old school, like kink stuff. So like, I have no idea what this means. I mean, he's basically got an NPC that's dressed up in a gimp suit and he's teabagging the rings of Saturn. I don't know how to process this, let alone what the fuck is going on in the corner over here. I don't know why there's an NPC in a gimp suit. I need help. Please send help. And to the wider argument that he's trying to make, I still don't know what all of this has to do with it, other than he's trying to make the point that the universe exists because of these fine-tuned constants, and that life exists in this universe because the constants are tuned the way that they are. Again, we've covered this with the anthropic principle, and I think that sufficiently covers it. There's no need to bring up why, there's what seems to us to be nearly no life in the universe, or that the universe is very inhospitable to life, unless you're saying that God loves life in some kind of way, which would be really weird for Christians to say, considering all the murder and mass genocide that God does in the Bible. I'm just saying this entire scene right now makes me uncomfortable.